A warm hello to all our dear participants. It's my privilege to introduce to you today Dr. Surendra Gore. Sir is born on 12th April 1963 at Nagpur. He has obtained his BE and MTech in Mechanical Engineering from VNIT Nagpur and doctorate degree in Industrial Engineering from National Institute of Industrial Engineering, Mumbai. Sir has also a degree in BA Psychology, MS Psychotherapy and Counseling, Advanced Diploma in Management and PG Diploma in Operations Research. He is a recipient of National Merit Scholarship since SSC till completion of his BE. Further, he has received 2 gold medals for being first merit in MA Economics and first merit in MTech exam, while he stood second in order of merit in MA exam of the Nagpur University. Dr. Gore is currently involved in personality development of students and corporate HR training. His experience: Sir has initially worked at Godrej, Mumbai. Later he joined Sri Ramdev Baba College of Engineering and Management, Nagpur in 1984. He has worked there in various capacities like HOD in Industrial Engineering and Management Technology and Vice Principal till April 2008, that is for almost 24 years. Thereafter, he worked for 4 years each at JIT as Vice Principal and Nagpur Institute of Technology as Vice Principal. He has been a visiting faculty at IMT Nagpur. Sir is presently working as Principal at St. Vincent Pallotti College of Engineering and Technology since 18 June 2018. His achievements in academics include: Sir is a recognized guide for PhD in Management and Engineering. He has guided 2 PhD scholars and has to his credit 4 books and 47 research papers. Sir has been honored with National Award for the paper published in Industrial Engineering Journal, while he also received Best Paper Award at the International Conference on HR. Sir is a highly reputed corporate HR trainer and has conducted more than 400 training programs, covering over 6,000 corporate participants from industries like L&T, Compton Greaves, Mahindra & Mahindra, Ultratech Cement, Nico, Raymond's, LIC, WCL, MECL, TAL, Global Logic, Duraweld, SEML, Gimatex and SMS. Sir has visited Dubai, Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Bangkok and Singapore for attending international educational events. During his student days, he had been awarded with Best Sportsmanship of VNIT Nagpur and had represented VNIT in 6 games such as athletics, kho-kho, kabaddi, handball, volleyball and chess up to university level. Sir was elected as Sports Secretary of VNIT. He received 3rd prize for acting in one-act play competition in Nagpur University. Twice he has successfully completed the National Himalayan Trekking Program. Dr. Gore has been conducting workshops on aptitude development since the last 20 years. It's popularly known as WAD. It's a 12-day duration with 12 hours a day schedule. WAD contributes in the overall personality development of students. More than 50 such programs have been conducted in the last 20 years, covering over 8,000 students of engineering and polytechnics, coming from all over the country. I wish you all a happy learning with Sir. Thank you.
Welcome all of you. Importance of quantitative aptitude in career involves so many issues. Typically, the selection process for recruitment or for admission to higher education involves various issues such as parameter of human excellence. Now, any company would like to recruit a candidate having certain characteristics. Now, human being can be considered and we can rate them in terms of two significant domains. One is their thinking ability, analytical ability, the way in which they can grasp. And the another thing which talks about the behavioral pattern of an individual, interpersonal skill, interpersonal behavior. So, two distinct domains the individuals are basically rated. However, we find that there could be very many parameters of human excellence, such as maybe a high grasping rate, it may be a good communication, it may be understanding self, understanding other, it may be good in debate or discussion, it may be having higher convincing skill, it may be having higher analytical ability or logical thinking, or any sort of problem solving capacity of an individual. Now, all these things together can be categorized into two domains. In general, in day-to-day life, what we call as head and heart. Head talks about thinking and heart talks about feeling, emotion, sentiment, and therefore the human being we can consider that is having all the traits which can be classified mainly into two distinct divisions. Now, typically it is said that the left hemisphere of the brain controls right side of the body and the right hemisphere of the brain controls left side of the body. Now, this is the biological significance of the two hemispheres of the brain. And when we talk about personality, we will have a different meaning to this. Like left hemisphere of the brain takes care of the head part of it, that is analytical ability, reasoning, logical thinking, grasping, all this thing related to the thought process is governed by left hemisphere. What right hemisphere does? Right hemisphere takes care of emotions, sentiments, according to me, according to you, isn't it? I like, I don't like it. Typically, all the things which are connected with emotions, sentiments, and which have significant bearing with the interpersonal relationship, interpersonal communication, and therefore in a group behavior. The behavioral pattern of an individual is decided by the right hemisphere of the brain, and left hemisphere of the brain takes care of his capacity to analyze a problem, solve the problem, understand the problem. Naturally, the intelligence quotient which takes care of, in day-to-day life what we say, the left hemisphere does the job of head and the right hemisphere does the job of heart. Intelligence quotient is basically measurement of all set of all these abilities which are pertaining to the left hemisphere of the brain, mainly judged by quantitative aptitude and analytical ability. Right hemisphere, typically we talk about is a set of emotions, sentiments, and therefore the trait which is being measured and a number standard is called as emotional quotient, which takes care of the emotional pattern and behavior of an individual. So IQ talks about left hemisphere, EQ talks about right hemisphere, and companies want IQ as well as EQ. But IQ can be relatively precisely measured. EQ is bit more fuzzy, more difficult to measure. You find when we talk about measurement of IQ, there would be very many types of intelligences, but companies are interested in, or maybe the selection process for merit rating in higher education, they are basically interested in the intelligence related to analytical ability, the quantitative part of it. And therefore most of the companies or the entrance exam of higher education, they takes care of the quantitative aptitude. The measurement is done by the quantitative aptitude. Now the group discussion and personal interview, mainly the EQ is tested, how a person behaves in a group. Like in a group discussion we find out that okay, can we put forth idea? Do we have a good communication skill? Do we have good convincing skill? Do we have influencing skill? Do we have mesmerizing skill? Do we have a coordinating skill, cooperating skill, leading skill, motivating skill, and at the top of it, listening skill also. Now all these things, the body language also, are judged in the group discussion. In PI, your personal perspective as well as opinion formation is judged, apart from the factual information which is given in your resume or biodata. So typically the IQ part is mainly judged by the quantitative aptitude test, and for EQ, GDPI are being used. You find analytical ability, that is basically the manifestation of IQ, is required for decision making and rational judgment, which are integral part of any superior position, officer position or higher positions. Quantitative aptitude, GDPI, are mostly essential part of the selection process. So what the companies will do, they will try to go for aptitude test for rating. For MBA entrance exam like CAT, MAT, XAT, MBA CET also, they basically judge the quantitative aptitude. In graduate recovered examination, which is required for doing MS abroad, it also takes care of the quantitative aptitude. And moreover, most of the campus placements, they also talk about quantitative aptitude. Now, the campus recruitment process basically goes ahead with a large number of students. Maybe in a full campus, we have a large number of students, say 4,000, 5,000 students are there. Now, they cannot conduct the group discussion and PI of that. Group discussion needs to be taken in group of 10, while personal interview needs to be taken 1-to-1. And therefore, you find they cannot conduct GD and PI for 5,000 people. So what they do, they make use of quantitative aptitude as an elimination process. They take the aptitude test of 5,000 people in an online aptitude test with a multiple objective questions. Typically, you will find that out of the 5,000, they only pick up 5 to 10%. Like for example, from 5,000, they pick up 250 people. They shortlist 250 people for further probing, because further probing is more requiring time consuming and it is required to be done in depth. So we cannot analyze all 5,000 people with that depth. So 250 people are shortlisted and they are sent in a group of 10 each. Such 25 groups are made either simultaneously or sequentially. GDs are conducted. From 250 people through GD, again people are eliminated and top 50 are taken out. And those top 50 are finally interviewed. You understand? Friends, what happens here? Suppose out of 5,000, you are not in top 50. You are not in top 50 through the quantitative aptitude. What will happen? You might be having meritorious career. You might have represented the university in sports and cultural activities. You might be having so many feathers to your cap and your personality which can really influence the interviewer. However, you are summarily rejected. And if you are not in top 50, you won't get occasion and chance to put forth your personality and interact with the interviewer. And therefore, the quantitative aptitude is very important. Quantitative aptitude is very important because it will open your gateway for top 5% people and you will get an opportunity to explain something going wrong in your biodata. For example, you are having one of the backlog in one of the semester. You can always explain the reason for that. Sir, I am throughout meritorious in my career. However, because of my illness or because of the circumstances beyond my control, perhaps my backlog was there. So you can justify, you can put your position if you get chance for group discussion and personal interview. And therefore, the quantitative aptitude is so important that 90 to 95% students are eliminated in that. They are not allowed to go for the higher processes, and therefore entire walk of life will find the careers. The quantitative aptitude for all sorts of mass recruitment, all sorts of mass selection process, maybe the public sector, maybe the banks, maybe the insurance, maybe the UPSC, MPSC, you will find this is being used as a tool for mass scale elimination. Typically, you will find in order to cream out the people, filter it out to the 5%, top 5% people for further probing, this quantitative aptitude is being used. Such a significance is there for quantitative aptitude in our career. So this was just sensitizing all of you about the importance of quantitative aptitude in career. Thank you very much.